It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another Kicking It session. Today, guys, I have Johnny Kim of the Litecoin Foundation. I call him the crypto bodyguard, right-hand man to Charlie Lee, and he calls himself a chief evangelist of the world. He's really moving with this Ignite the Fire Litecoin movement. He's got guys from the East Coast, West Coast, all around the country, really spreading the adoption of cryptos. I want you guys to definitely check out his Patreon in the description of this video. He's doing this out of the kindness of his heart, out of his own pocket. So please support my man Johnny Kim. Without further ado, let's get right into this.
Right? So I'm not going to talk like I'm a black belt. I haven't passed the test of time or been in this game long enough to call myself an expert. Right? Every day is a learning experience. Every time I go through a crash or a huge correction, it's like I'm going up another level in my skill set as far as my hodling is concerned or my trading is concerned. So I just think people come into this space and they have this big ego because they had a couple of good trades, but there is no substitution for experience from experience in my life in any craft or any skill that you're trying to become better at, you know? So
it takes patience, right? It takes patience, and you got to put in the time to really see the overall. You may get short-term gains, but like you said, man, it just takes patience and learning from experience, and only time can help you gain and garner that experience to know in the future what direction or which option to pick, right? So
absolutely,
yeah, man.
Hey, Crypto Blood, what is the prerequisite of patience?
I don't know. You tell me.
Impatience. People fail to realize that patience has to start from impatience. Impatience is the road to patience. If you have patience overnight, that's false patience, because patience takes time and experience and failure.
Right.
So many people talk about patience, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. You know what I mean? So like what's happening today? It's like I'm on Crypto Blood's show on my birthday when there's crypto blood in the streets. That's running wild right now. It's
bad, but we're gonna get to that because I think we agree. And one of the words you used earlier, the operative word was blockchain, and what the power of blockchain will do, not the price of blockchain. If I can just simplify it, right? It's more about the utility of this technology than it is the price and speculation of it. So I definitely want to get to that part. But before we do, man, tell me about this relationship that you've developed with the great Charlie Lee, man. How did that come about? So
this is how I roll. Okay. So in February, Charlie liked one of my tweets.
Okay.
Which I remember I was in a MGM, brand new MGM that was built in Baltimore. I was staying there with my wife for 1 week, but I'm not a gambler. So even though I was staying at the suite, I never stepped a foot inside the casino. And I remember when he liked one of my tweets, I was just jumping out of my bed, you know, because in Twitter, when Charlie likes or retweets your tweet, it kind of changes your Twitter career, you know?
Yes, it does.
So I changed my name to Satoshi Light's Bodyguard because if you look at my name, my Twitter handle, it's always my goal.
Gotcha.
It's like I'm declaring it to the world, this is who I'm going to be. And I was Satoshi Light's Bodyguard. My Twitter handle was for a long time. And in February, I changed it to that. And then he followed me. And mind you, Charlie is not going to follow you just because you ask him. You have to be different or interesting in some way or another, right?
Yes.
And then one day, I had a couple beers. And I direct messaged him. And I told him about my life, about how I don't have the education. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I really don't have anything to offer Charlie, or I don't see any benefit that I can do for him.
Right.
But I told him, if you give me one chance, I will promise you one thing. I will not let you down. In some way or another, I will find a way to help Litecoin and the foundation if you gave me a chance. And then it was like this long message about my past, my bad past, and what I went through. and how I changed and, you know, all that. And he said, you know what, you got a deal. And he invited me to the Litecoin Foundation as a volunteer. And I got into the Slack channel and I started talking. But here's the bad thing about that part. Everybody's so brilliant in Slack. They're all professionals, developers. I mean, like people that I wouldn't associate with all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So in that Slack channel, I felt like an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I wanted to post something, it wasn't smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Twitter, I just felt like I could be myself, you know?
Yep.
And on Twitter, I started to like really, you know how in Twitter you're supposed to be more professional and be kind of slick with your tweets?
Right.
I really
and
brought my heart into
stuff. Yeah.
I brought my heart into it, and I really tried to engage the community and really try to change the atmosphere of Twitter, not just professional, but really bring in my heart and share my life, share my family, everything, even though that's, you know, you call it doxing yourself, right? But I really didn't care.
Right.
I'm either all in or all out. So that happened. And when the Litecoin Summit came up, I mean, Charlie messaged me and was like, you know, you want to be my real bodyguard at the summit,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And after the summit, we got really close, you know? And then he said, John, I think it's time for you to change your name. Because this bodyguard part actually, it came to pass, right? So he asked me to change my name because I'm on my own now. I don't need Charlie's name, Satoshi Light's bodyguard, to be famous or to come up on Twitter or social media.
Right.
He said, you have your own identity now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for you to change. I said, what name would you like for me to be?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, how about Litecoin Jesus? And I said, no, because that's too much like Roger Ver.
Bitcoin Jesus. Right.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to change my name to Chief Evangelist to the world. Not because I am, because that's my next
goal. That's
goal.
Your next goal.
Yeah. So that's why you see my name as the Chief Evangelist and you see a world symbol there, because I'm all in. I'm all in. And until Litecoin becomes a world currency, I thought I told you that we won't stop. I told you that we won't stop. Yeah. Come on,
Johnny,
P. Diddy. You are P. Diddy.
Fool,
I'm the notorious KIM, baby.
We need the balloon suit. We need the shiny suits, right? We need the shiny suits.
It was all a dream.
Yeah.
Used to read Word Up magazine.
No
so that's how it happened, man. And you know, the more I know the guy, you know, people always tell me Litecoin is more centralized than Bitcoin because Charlie's alive, right? But I see more benefits for Charlie being alive and leading the movement a little bit, right? Because look at all the Bitcoin cash, Bcash hash word that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
That would never happen if Satoshi Nakamoto was alive, right? And or he was, people knew who he was and he knew how to direct it a little bit. So we have a completely decentralized Bitcoin where Satoshi Nakamoto is nowhere to be found. We have that. But we also have Litecoin where it's decentralized, but not as much. But Charlie can steer the boat a little bit until he can pull himself out completely.
You know what I've finally realized over these many years, not I don't want to say many, but five and a half years of being in cryptos. I think us chasing the allure of fully decentralization is actually not even what we need. It needs to be a mixture, like you're saying. There needs to be, it's a gradient. It's not like a binary black-white event. There's a gradient. And so there needs to be some mixture that will work for Litecoin, for Ethereum, for EOS, whatever, you know, project, blockchain that you're into. I think it will only work if there's a mixture of some centralization, meaning some group organization that at least gives it a roadmap or some type of, you know what I mean, and then then the community can maybe chime in and make decisions. But I'm in total agreements with you with that, man. It can't be fully decentralized because we'll never get anything done.
At least not now. See, even Litecoin Foundation is decentralized. Charlie never tells people what to do. If we say, hey, I got an idea, you know, hey, why don't we do this, whatever, he won't say yes or no. You know, he's basically, if you want to do it, do it. You know, so he leads in a decentralized way too. So this is one important thing that I want to tell people. If blockchain, Bitcoin, the truth protocol, decentralization, censorship resistant, all those aspects of sound money, right, has really affected you deep within, your life would change.
I know mine did.
Other people would change. You know, you won't be so controlling and forceful, and you will allow other people to come in, and you'll try to lead in a way that is more decentralized instead of trying to like force your way in and use your like Roger Ver. He's got this personality where he can kind of like,
his tactics are so
out-talk you.
Yeah,
and somehow convince, coerce you to do something that may be against what you're really feeling inside. So when blockchain really set inside my heart, and I really started to like believe in the tech, it changed my life. It really did. So
because it showed you the possibilities, right? That it showed you the possibilities for the world, not just you.
Exactly.
Not just America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a global thing because it's the only thing that's 24 hours. Even stock markets, it takes a break on the weekends, right? But you know, crypto is global, just in the nature that it trades 24 hours and 7 days a week. There's no break. But like you said, decentralization, full decentralization is a dream, is a goal. But right now, it's not attainable. The market's too young. The blockchain is too young.
It needs guidance, right? It needs guidance.
Guidance right now. So that's why I feel like Charlie Lee and Litecoin is positioned perfect, because not only it's Charlie, one of the most respected person in cryptocurrency. I feel like most people who aren't mad about him selling all-time high, you know, knows that he's a legit guy, humble guy. He doesn't try to pump things. He doesn't shill.
So my main way of building relationships, either in business or just friendships, is always off of energy, Johnny. So when I first met you, instantly good energy, good feedback. When you know, and then I was able to kind of just talk to Charlie Lee for a second in San Fran. Good energy, innocent guy. I don't get the whole sell at the top to crash the market. I personally think it was just a great opportunity to do it. Suspicious, but meeting him, I don't think it was any nefarious type of reasons behind him doing that. And honestly, it may have been, he's such an influential person, him doing that could have actually triggered, it could have been a self-fulfilling prophecy, Johnny, is what I'm saying. Like everyone else would have kind of followed suit, possibly. You know, that's how I look at it.
But you know when you deal with people for a while and you kind of see their character, right? Because I always tell my team, you can fake it for 3 months.
Yeah.
But true self will start to bleed out.
Right.
And at 6 months, 50% will bleed out. And within a year, you won't be able to fake it anymore, because the more time you spend with other people, it's just going to keep oozing out your true self.
Yeah.
And almost a year that I've been with Charlie, he's been one of the most consistent person in the way he acts, talks, and behaves in my life. And I'm talking about, I've been around really great people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But Charlie, I believe that he was just raised well. Have you met those people? You just feel like they have some really good parenting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's not about Christian, Muslim. It's not about religion either. It's about, man, this guy was taught very well.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like that he was raised very well, and just his big plan, right? I always say Charlie Lee is 2-3 steps ahead of everyone. The reason being, he pushed for SegWit, right? Way before Bitcoin. He implemented SegWit on Litecoin. He went to China and like convinced people, Bitcoin people, to implement SegWit. And then here comes the Lightning Network, and the prerequisite for getting on the Lightning Network is the segregated witness.
Yeah.
So like, he's always 2-3 steps ahead. And he's like under promise, over deliver kind of a guy. You know what I mean? So it's just seeing who he is. I'm just very fortunate. Like forget forget crypto.
Right.
Let's say I don't have any money invested. I lost everything.
Right.
But just meeting Charlie and being able to see and experience another person.
Well, we're losing Hey, listen, we're losing everything right now as we speak. We're losing everything now, but like you said,
I remember this because it's my birthday, bro. The red
Yeah.
happened on 12 o'clock midnight on my birthday.
Oh man, but you know what, man? I've been here before with this whole, market correction, coming off of the hype a little bit. I believe in the technology, like you, bro. Like when I found out about Bitcoin, I swear, Johnny, that night I went and bought my first Bitcoin. That night at 1:30 in the morning, I went out and bought that Bitcoin. And then from there, it just changed my life because I knew, man, this was going to change, or is still going to change the world, regardless of the price. See, the price precedes the actual innovation and the adoption. I think most people have it the other way around. They think that the price is going to go up and then we're going to get adoption. No, the true value is if we can do what you're doing, going around the country. You've got an East Coast team, a West Coast team. We need to get people to actually use it, adopt it, and the price precedes that.
Absolutely. You know why that's possible with Litecoin? Because we don't have to waste our efforts on trying to get on an exchange or market or try to, pump a coin. I mean, Litecoin is the most liquid. We're on every exchange, right? So there's no need to waste energy in every other area or any other area. So Charlie, his last goal, he doesn't care about anything, right? It's about adoption. So remember I told you that I feel like I didn't have anything to offer the Litecoin Foundation because of my education level, whatever.
Yeah.
But I realized what I'm good at. What I'm good at is I don't need sponsors. I don't need planning. I don't need strategy. My best characteristic is if I'm going to go for it, I don't care what anyone says or what I'm lacking. I'm going for it.
Right.
So the night that I messaged Charlie and I said, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to go out and travel the United States and push for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you know what? I like that idea,
Mm-hmm.
And then in a week I left. After I got decals, sold my house, everything, I left.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 44 days, 10,000 miles. I drove around the United States and I pushed for adoption. But what people don't understand is this, right? It's not really adoption and awareness that's my number one focus. Mm-hmm. It's igniting the fire in other people. Whenever I meet Litecoin fan members or crypto enthusiasts on the road, and I sit down with them and I eat with them and I look them in the eyes and I ignite the fire that is like almost dying within their heart, they become another fire starter. They become another evangelist. Mm-hmm. So my ultimate goal is to go around the United States and meet people and turn them into an evangelist by showing them that it's not hard. You don't have to grab people by their, shoulders or arms and be like, hey, let me tell you about blockchain. That's the worst way to try to get people to invest in crypto.
Or to lure them in because of potential profit in price.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. So I turned the table. So whenever I meet people, I said, hey, can I give you some Litecoin? And I said, if you download the Loaf wallet, no strings attached. I don't want your email. I don't want your phone number. I don't want anything from you. I just want to send you some Litecoin. Mm-hmm. So whenever I send them a Litecoin, it broadcasts within 2 or 3 seconds.
Yep.
Right? And they see it in the Loaf wallet. And then they start asking me all these questions. They're like, what just happened? We just bypassed the bank. It was a peer-to-peer transaction. So how did that get here? Oh, it's the blockchain. What's the blockchain? So I turned the table to where the experience of that transaction into their wallet becomes like activates this curiosity inside their mind.
Right.
And they start asking me all these questions. And then I'm the one that is answering their questions instead of me trying to convince them of something. And you know where I learned this? I used to have 9 cell phone stores, right?
Okay.
As a business. And I remember when Apple came to train us, number one rule was that we had to buy each iPhone a real live phone on display. Because they said, if you touch it, if you feel it, play around with an iPhone, 80% you will buy it. So it's an actual experience that made you want to buy an iPhone.
That's smart.
So I took that training that I learned a long time ago, and I took that on the road. And I made the people experience the transaction. And then all these questions happened. And then all this interest. And then they became more interested. And because of that experience, let me tell you something, Crypto Blood. What's the best movie you've seen so far this year or ever?
I'm not a moviegoer, but I would say one of my top movies is Paid in Full.
Okay, Paid in Full.
Yeah.
After you watch that movie, right? Did anybody tell you, dude, you got to go tell somebody about it? Or did you automatically go to anyone you saw, your friend, and be like, bro, have you seen that movie, Paid in Full?
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I did. Yeah. I went to my bro, like, dude, did you see? Yeah.
Right. I mean, no one had to convince you. So I feel like that if you see something great, nobody has to tell you to go tell someone about it.
That's true.
So I'm all about experience. So once they experience that, you know what they're going to tell their friends and their family? They're not going to be able to explain to them about blockchain. It's going to take 6 months to a year to even really understand the blockchain, right? They're going to tell them, hey, I just received Litecoin. That thing was on my phone, broadcasted in 2 or 3 seconds. And when the bull run comes and adoption becomes bigger, all those people that I've met that turn me down, I'm telling you, a lot of people turn me down for free Litecoin.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's about that iPhone experience, you know, like I told you. So whenever I meet people and I get them to download Low Wallet and I send them a free Litecoin, no strings attached. And then they start asking me questions. But, you know, the whole thing that I asked you about, what, you know, when you watch a good movie, no one has to tell you to tell someone about it. So it's the experience that really like stays with people. And that's the route that I'm going to. So, you know, just going out and actually visiting every part of the U.S., we are so early, bro.
Yeah, very.
I mean,
you know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that was one of the things I was very critical about Litecoin in general, and like Litecoin specifically, is I didn't see anyone out there on boots on the ground really looking to gain and garner adoption. And so it's crazy that you're doing exactly what I was very critical about the Litecoin project and not doing. Like, I didn't see that. And so I think it really starts, man, from the grassroots. If we're going to get this cryptocurrency thing really popping, it's going to have to start from the bottom up. And so I'm just very, very excited to see you out there sacrificing, and it will pay off for you in one way or the other. However the universe lines up, your efforts are definitely going to be rewarded, man. So that's great. So what are your go ahead.
So let me add one more thing. You know, I'm 41, you know. I've learned a little bit in my life living this long, and what I've learned is like thinking the opposite, you know. Like whenever I left for the first tour, Litecoin crashed to $50. You know, it was at 70 something and then it crashed, right? You know what I said to myself? I said, this is good. Because there's a book that I'm writing in my mind, right? This book of cryptocurrency and adoption book that I'm writing in my mind. And I feel like this just added so much drama to that book. So much more content to that book. Right. So I want to be known as the guy that went out to push for adoption when the market sentiment was the lowest. Right? Because who can't go out when it's high?
Right.
Who can't go out when everything's perfect and
Very
prices
true.
are up and everybody wants Litecoin, right?
Very true.
But yeah, so what
and
happened
actually,
yesterday?
Man, honestly, not to cut you, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's best that you do garner adoption in the low points, because if you did it at the high, those people, and we have a crash, you'll never get those people back again.
Never, never, never. And now that I'm on another tour right now, Ignite the Fire LTC tour, until the end of the year. This happens, Yeah. And I'm just like giggling inside. It's because,
that's crazy.
Okay, things just got a lot more interesting. Now, you know how people say, you know what, I'm glad this correction happened because it gets rid of all the speculators, right? Well, I'm glad this correction happened because it gets rid of all the fake people who try to say that they're for adoption, but they only did it to be included in like on Twitter, right? Become more, have more followers on Twitter. And
what did you tell me in your DM the other night, a few nights ago? You said, don't chase the fame, or what was that you said? That was good.
Never chase fame or money.
Yeah.
Let it chase you. Yeah. So whenever you go out, like right now on my last tour, I spent $12,000 in my own money, crypto blood, and food, gas, and motels. Right.
Wow.
So I'm actually, Bitcoin Ben calls it, I'm putting in the sweat equity.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and we're gonna get to stick around, because I want you guys to definitely, I'm gonna put a link. You can see it in this video when I post it. Support Johnny. Please support Johnny. He has a Patreon, and we'll get all the information. But definitely want you guys to support him. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, when you become the best at a certain area, I'm not a developer, right? I'm not a coder, and I'm too late to the game for me to learn that right now and become an expert.
Right.
But I'm an expert in people. You know what I mean? I've been dealing with people in business for years. I've done homeless ministry for 3 years in my life.
Wow.
I've dealt with poor people. I've dealt with many different races of people.
I can tell.
Yeah. Right? I've dealt with rich people. At the end of the day, they're all the same.
Yeah.
If you take the facade down, the curtain down, and then you look them in the eyes, they're all the same. They're all wanting the same thing in life.
Or they're all having the same doubts and questions about life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people just know how to look confident more than others.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Very true, man.
Yeah.
You talking,
So for me, when I met you, the reason I liked you and I feel like you like me was because there was no mask.
Right.
We're too old to pretend to be like someone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So either you like me or you don't.
Right.
Either you like my Twitter content or my YouTube content or no, or you don't.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to change and try to be someone else, because that is the fastest way to failure.
Yeah, and the fastest way to be unhappy though, right?
Yeah.
The fastest way to be unhappy too.
Litecoin saved my marriage, bro.
Wow.
Let me tell you how. Like I want to write a Medium post about this. Okay, I opened 15 businesses in 5 years. I slept 4 hours a day because I feel like that I had to work harder than anyone else, because I had a chip on my shoulder. Because no one gave me money to start a business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to wake up and hustle harder than anyone else just so I can succeed, But think about it, right? What do you think happened to me during those 5 years?
Your relationship suffered.
Yeah, because there's no balance when you're going that hard.
Right.
So I'm building a business. I'm building my, corporations. I had multiple, corporations, right? But yet I come home, everything my wife said was annoying.
Yeah.
Because I've been talking all day. I don't want to talk.
Right.
But she's been waiting at home for me all day, and she wants to, talk to me and have a relationship.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm tired. So after I sold my business and my house and I went out on this tour, we were still kind of iffy, And then I was on live stream with Bitcoin Ben on his YouTube channel. And my wife sent me, after the show, a screen capture of me from that show. And she said, John, And it was a screen capture of me smiling really big. And she said on the text message, I've never seen you smile like this since the day we got married.
Wow.
And she's like, you know what? I don't care about anything. I believe in you because you've never went all in and failed. I've never seen you be like so passionate, obsessed about something and not get to the top, right? And she's like, you know what? Do whatever you got to do. I got your back.
Well, that's a true partner right there, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how my
she
wife
bought me
has
lunch
been.
this afternoon for my birthday. And we talked the whole time about her life and what's going on with her. And it's just like we became best friends again. But what really happened was this. In trying to make all this money, in trying to become so successful, I lost what was so important in life. It's just conversation.
Yeah.
It's just being kind. It's just listening, right?
Right.
But when you're making money and you think you're a big shot, you know, you think, you know what, girl, I'm bringing you money. I bought you this house.
Right.
I don't need to hear anything from you. You just need to be happy that you met a man that's successful, right?
Right. It can provide you these material things. Right.
Yeah. But now, even when I woke up this morning, my wife came in and she was like, oh my gosh, Litecoin's at $30. And I was laughing, right? I was like, hey, it's my birthday. You can't do that on my birthday. You got to give a brother a break on his birthday.
Right.
You can't do that. We all laughed, and then I just went out and she bought me some sushi, and we just laughed about it because she knows at the end of the day, I said I was going to be Charlie's bodyguard. I became it, right? I said that I was going to buy her house when I didn't have any money. I said, I'm going to buy you a house next year. I don't care what it takes. I want to buy you a house. 1 year later, I bought her house. Her mom said that even if it killed her, that I would never be able to marry her daughter. 3 years later, 100% persistency, I married her with full blessing. So whatever I declare into this world, I may be simple and I may not be the smartest guy in the world. I'm gonna tell you one thing.
No. You're smart. You're smart.
Here's the kicker.
There's
here's
a difference.
The kicker, though. Here's the kicker. I'm not a victim. I'm playing with the cards that I've been dealt. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. You will not beat me in my determination. You can outrun me, outsmart me. You can do anything. But I promise you one thing. No one has more determination than I do, because I used to live in a homeless shelter. I'm willing to go down that far in order for me to prove to people that what I'm passionate about is the right thing.
Wow. Man, this guys, ladies and gents watching this may be one of the best interviews and realest interviews I've ever done, honestly. Very just honest, and I love it. And I knew it. Like when I met Johnny, I knew he was just genuine. He was a real dude, and I'm very glad that you definitely came on today. I just want to ask you, because I'm always looking to help better my subscribers in any way I can. Like, what advice would you give to them to kind of take on that attitude, or is that something that's just you're born with? Can you learn what you've kind of come into, or is it something that is experience has to build and shape you?
Look, everything in life, you got to see it you got to be able to see it in two ways. It's a double-edged sword. If there is a lesson there on the other side, there's something that you're releasing to another person as well. A teaching. There's a lesson and a teaching. So for instance, if something bad happened to you, you have to see the good and the bad. And in life, the people who succeed, they actually do the opposite of what most people will do. You know?
Meaning what? Break that down. Break that down.
Okay, let me give you an example. I had an employee steal $30,000 from me. Because I had multiple cell phone stores and I didn't have time to pick up all the deposits. So my manager was picking it up when he had time, and I was picking up some, and she took full advantage and started stealing thousands of dollars. right? And it was around 30K. Well, I caught her on camera, right? I had two choices. Get really upset, send her to jail and possibly get deported, or forgive her, right? And tell myself, this is a $30,000 lesson that I learned, and I saved money, because what happens in the future if I didn't go through this, you know, somebody could have stole $300,000 from me.
Right.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
So there's no room for bitterness whenever you see it from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I told you earlier, right? When I started the tour, price crashed. I could have been like, oh, that's it, I'm not going out. But I thought of it the other way around.
Right.
Well, this just made everything interesting. This will have a better story whenever we get out of this, right? So my attitude was like, I'm going to go even harder, because the whole world is not going to recognize what I'm doing because they lost interest.
Yeah.
Right. But in the hardcore believer's mind, I became an asset, because they know right then and there that I'm not doing this for money.
Mm-hmm.
They know that this is a passion that I cannot control. And true passion is married to obsession. Fake passion is married to compromise. Right? So passion, if it's not coupled with obsession, you will never be great.
Yeah.
Any NBA player, any football player, any athlete in the world that you call great, they had passion and they had obsession, and it was coupled together.
Mm-hmm.
And no one could stop them. Not even their mom, not even their circumstances.
So basically, you're saying you have to the audience, you have to find what you're obsessed about and become passionate about it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
No. This is okay. This is probably the last thing, the most important thing I'll say to you. In my life, I have one quote. And I've never heard it from anyone else. This is straight from every failure and every experience that I've ever experienced in my life. You do not choose passion, passion chooses you.
Okay.
And then I was listening to Jeff Bezos like a couple months ago, first time on YouTube. And he came out and he said the same thing, which made me feel like
that was confirmation, right?
It's confirmation,
yeah.
Right? He says, you don't choose passion, passion chooses you. What am I trying to say? Look, if you're not passionate about something right now, it's not because you're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It just haven't come for you yet.
Mm.
But let me tell you, when it does when passion grabs you, it will take you to a place you can never go without it. Because on mere human strength, you cannot go to the end. It's just too hard. So I feel like Litecoin and cryptocurrency was the passion that gripped me, because I tried to run away from it. I didn't want it. I had a business life, but it took over. And I couldn't think of do anything outside of it. And I became obsessed.
That's crazy, because that's how many of the successes I've had in life so far have been things that I didn't even necessarily like it found me. Like it just happened, right? You just kind of in the moment. That's crazy. That's so true. That is so true, man.
If you're a little bit older, over 30, you will know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
everybody's trying to find another man's passion and try to become good at it.
Yeah.
And that's why they'll never be great.
Right.
Look at me. I'm not great, but check it out.
Nobody's
doing what I'm doing
right.
as far as going out and being simple and pushing for adoption on the road.
Yeah. And I swear that's what's needed, bro. I swear that's what's needed.
Yeah, it's needed. And you know what? This is one thing I want to say about Bitcoin Bet. Whenever I first saw him, I was like, bro, what am I looking at? This guy has a speech impediment.
Right.
He's a truck driver.
Yep.
He's on a freaking phone in his truck.
Yep.
But you know what inspired me? This is the best thing about Bitcoin Ben. It's not his knowledge.
Mm-mm.
The best thing about Bitcoin Ben is he makes you believe that you can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, my wife
look,
said the
Crypto
same
Blood,
thing about Bitcoin.
when I saw you on YouTube and I saw your setup, I was like, no, I can't do all that, all this microphone, and because it was like, for a person who's never done it before, your studio looks like a legit studio.
Right.
But whenever I saw Ben, it inspired me to start my YouTube channel.
That's awesome. And
not have anything. Now, that's what I want to be known as in this crypto space. If John can do it, I can do it. I want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy like, oh, he's so awesome. He's so well spoken. Right. He knows how to break things down in such a way. No, I don't want to be that guy. Let everybody else be that guy. Yeah. I want to be the guy. Shoot, if that Asian dude can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And honestly,
that's real talk, man.
That's the real inspiration. When you can be the floor that somebody can jump on to become better or to find their true self. That's a real person that inspires people, not someone who can sell you a book or a video,
right? How
to be like them,
right?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I want to tell your audience is, look.
I think we'll definitely, those are some gems. You know, that's like the fourth or fifth one today. I really hope my audience appreciates this.
Crypto Blood, you know why when I really got respect for you? You were on with Cliff High, right? And one of my biggest fear is to be in the same room with Cliff High, because I just don't know what I would say.
Yeah,
because everything he says is like brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't even know where to start or continue the conversation, because I'm just like, I just don't function well in front of brilliant people.
Yeah, man.
But you were like cool as a cat, man.
I was trying. Hey, I had my mask on. We talking about masks, baby. I was nervous as hell, man, the first time interviewing
Crypto,
him.
You're so well spoken. You're like, you know, when you hear Crypto Blood, right? Oh, Crypto Blood, right?
Right.
You're thinking you're smoking cigars. You got old school hip hop, Nas, Wu-Tang. All these people playing. And my first judgment of you was, what does this guy know?
Yeah.
Is he like a hip hop guy for crypto? You know?
Yeah.
Because we all judge unbeknownst to ourselves.
Absolutely, right? John. Absolutely.
Yeah. But when I met you, and when I see you handle yourself, you're 100% same on and off the camera. You're very, very smart dude, and you're studied up, and you're very well spoken too. You know, so I was very impressed. So to all Crypto Bloods audience, if you've never met the real man in real life and looked into his eyes and actually had a conversation with him, you are missing out. This guy, like, I literally said, you know what? All these people here, YouTube influencers, one person that I really kept in touch with, that I really like. And there was a lot of them. I'm not kidding with you. I'm not trying to pump you up here, Blood. You're the only one that stayed with me in my heart. I feel like, you know what, that guy, I feel like even if I'm 100% vulnerable and real with him, he's gonna understand me.
Right.
And not try to take advantage of me, right?
Right.
So here I am.
But you know what? You know why, Johnny, I'm doing this? I'm trying to break this, like you said, the social walls and you know how we like to assume and do those types of things and judge and prejudge people. I do this because I can wear a suit. I have many suits. I have expensive suits and ties and all that stuff. But I decided to just be this hip hop guy, this black kid from Detroit, and put this on. It's not that I'm putting it on as me, but I'm just saying I'm being my regular self to let people know, don't judge a book by its cover. And that's what's going to happen with you, man. When it's all done, this journey that you're on, people are they're going to be like, I shouldn't have judged a book by its cover.
You know, when this is all done, you're going to be known as the Allen Iverson of crypto. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Allen Iverson stood his ground and said, you know what, this is me. Cornrows, everything.
Yeah, he did, right? Man. That is very true.
whenever they did an interview, put him in the cover, they used to airbrush out all the tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What do they have now? What's every athlete have now?
You know what he started? He started a movement because he stood his ground.
Yeah.
And all these NBA stars right now, they all want to be comfortable in who they are in their own skin.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, you see more braids now than regular hair.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like that you're a pioneer also in the crypto space. You're basically, you know, speaking into a megaphone and saying, hey, I'm Crypto Blood. This is how I feel comfortable. And this is the way I'm going to roll. If you don't like it, you know, you're going to have to live with it.
Yeah, so what?
Because there's going to be so many people, when I'm older, younger people, whether it's Crypto Blood 2 or whatever they want to call themselves,
right.
They're going to come out. They're going to talk about how they were inspired by this Crypto Blood guy when the market sentiment was the lowest.
Right, right. Man, this is awesome, bro. So, like, to kind of wrap up, I know it's your birthday. I don't want to take too much time. Kind of tell us, you know, where you are with things. How are you going to wrap up this year with the Litecoin Foundation, Ignite? What is it called? Ignite the Fire, LTC. Kind of give us your blueprint and how you want to finish up the year. And also tell us about 2019. What are your plans? All that good stuff, bro.
Number one, I don't have a plan. I don't strategize. I go with the flow. And that's why Charlie likes me, because everyone around him loves to plan and strategize. And I like you because you just go and you're spontaneous, right? So right now, what I have on, what I'm working on right now is there's a dealership called Bob Moore Auto Group in Oklahoma City.
I saw that, man.
I think they're close.
That video went viral on Twitter.
Yeah, so they have 14 auto dealerships, including Porsche, Maserati, you know, Audi, all that.
I need me a new Porsche.
I finished the meeting with them because, you know, I put up that 2-minute video, and that wasn't even planned. That was on a whim. I said, hey, you mind if I take a quick video? And then 2 minutes, and then that thing went, I think it's at 240,000 impressions and like 36,000 views right now. So that meeting went well. And they sent me, what's that, keynote bullet points. Yeah. And the vice president of finance is fully on board, and he really wants to go into the meeting, the final meeting with the owner with me on my side, because everything that I've told him and explained to him, I basically blew him out of the water because there was no objection. They're worried about volatility. I said, sorry, it gets, if you don't want to keep Litecoin, we have a POS system that as soon as they pay, it get converted to USD on point of sale. Yeah. You know? So all the marketing push that they're going to get from the crazy Litecoin people or the cryptocurrency people, I mean, you can't even buy that with money, and that's all free. So we're probably going to have a meeting maybe in a month, and then you may hear about the first huge auto group in the United States. They're estimated to be worth $1 billion. So first huge auto group that will accept Litecoin as a form of payment for down payment and just if you want to purchase right up, you know. Just fully. So, but this week I have Johnny Litecoin and a couple of people on my East Coast team in Washington, D.C. And we have the mascots here, the costumes, Litecoin and Bitcoin costumes. Yeah. And we're going to go out, push for adoption, make some videos, and we're just going to go balls to the walls here and get ready for some cool videos and content coming out on Twitter.
Well, hey, if you ever stopping through the D, let's definitely link up. And I'll try to put some stuff together for you as well. Man, this has been, again, Johnny, I think the best interview I've had. No shades to anybody else I've ever had on, but I knew it would be great. I'm glad. Sure? I'm sure, bro. I'm sure. So again, thank you so much. Yeah. And I'm gonna have you back on, man. We're gonna talk some just other stuff too, man. We don't have to just talk crypto in the future. Don't feel like that has to be the case. But again, we've got Johnny Kim, Chief Evangelist, Ignite the Fire LTC campaign. Man, thank you so much for coming on, Johnny.
Thank you, Crypto Blood. You're the man. You're not just a friend. I consider you brother. I want our relationship to continue to grow, and then let's kill it, man. Let's
Yeah, we're gonna kill it. Definitely, no
make
doubt.
the future a better place for our children, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and thank you for joining in for another Kicking It session with Johnny Kim from the Litecoin Foundation. Holla!